What's up, guys? This is Irie StarCraft, and I'm going to be doing my second ever StarCraft 2 broadcast commentary. And a couple things I just wanted to say. I had so much fun doing the last one, so I got to keep trying this. And anyway, one thing I wanted to say is there's this replay. You can see the replay timer down here, so everybody knows that this is going to be a long game, 4v4. And yeah, I thought about trying to cover that up with something. Maybe eventually I'll do that, but I figured since pretty much everyone can see how long the videos are on YouTube anyway, that it's not that big of a deal yet. So, like I said before, I love team games. I'm a team game player, and I was talking about how there's more strategy in team games. That's may not necessarily have been what I meant exactly. Because there's tons of strategy in 1v1, but there's a lot of possibilities in a team game, especially a 4v4. I mean, there's so many different possible combinations of units that people can get. And one other thing I wanted to say is I'm still tweaking with some of my settings. I'm trying to get some of the file sizes of my videos down using, I'm new to using Fraps. And I'm trying to tweak my mic a little bit so that I don't get so much of that fuzz that I was hearing during my last video. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the game here. We've got, looks like, some scouting going on from the Teal Zerg. So yeah, this is going to be, let's see, we have yellow, let's check the vision here. Yeah, we've got, alright, the orange Terran, the yellow Zerg, and one thing, there's so many players in these team games, and there's so much to keep up with that I can't bother trying to remember everyone's name. So yellow Zerg here, pink Terran, green Terran, versus, yeah, you see, the purple Terran, Zerg, Terran. And so far, pretty standard play, it looks like. We've got, Ling's already on the way out from yellow, going to be doing some kind of harassment, splitting the Lings up, interestingly enough, going straight across the middle here. There's a wall off up here. This base, wow, Teal looks pretty vulnerable right now. I don't see any units. He's making 6 Zerglings, so he will be able, looks like, okay, these Zerglings here are going to find out that this is walled off, so yeah, more Zerglings coming out. Yellow trying to do a lot of early pressure here. That's going to hurt his game later possibly, but all the Reapers on the way already out to defend this base here. Yellow definitely needs to pull back there, and he will. This drone trying to run home up here, and let's see, other than yellow, there's not a lot of action going on, mostly macro. Do we see anything outrageous going on here? Nothing. I mean, it's too early to tell. A command center actually by green, so looks like it's going to have early expansion coming from green, and Teal getting ready to do that as well. Now yellow still scouting, finding out that everything's walled off up here. Teal doing a little scouting with his Lings too. Always good to keep those Lings running around. I mean, even if you don't do any damage, at least you can be aware of all the different armies that can really be all over the place in a 4v4. They get so hectic, these games, but so much fun. Anyway, these Lings sort of canceling each other out, running home for both players. We see an expansion coming up from Teal. This command center from green is finishing. Meanwhile, looks like, you know, everybody else is sort of going for, there's a lot of barracks coming out for blue. See the interesting wall up here from the orange. Oh, a starport already, tech lab, so we could see possibly some early banshees coming out from orange, going to probably harass this base over here. See, green already has an expansion up and running, transferring his SCVs down. Yellow, good placement here to get the vision with those supply depots. Yellow massing up a lot of Zerglings down here. Not a whole lot of action going on the map. Roaches coming out here, still early. Let's see. So we got a layer tech coming up here. Yeah, orbital command on the way down here. And yeah, so pretty much just standard stuff right now. Everybody's building up their army. We have a couple, see, because there's no early aggression coming right now from anybody, these guys that chose to get their fast expo is going to pay off pretty soon. I mean, yeah, so the other thing about that is, though, that, you know, a player like Orange here, now you see him getting his command center down. He's got the Banshee already out. No cloaking on the way. Meanwhile, the Reaper's coming in to harass here, and uh-oh, Orange is going to be in trouble here, going for that fast tech build. Uh-oh. These Reapers doing a ton of damage to SCVs, but the Banshee is out. He's going to be able to fend off his attack, but he needs to pull these SCVs out. I mean, look at this. He's losing so many SCVs. Yeah, Red is losing all his Reapers to that Banshee, but jeez. A ton of SCVs going down here. Meanwhile, Zerglings are from yellow and pink. Looks like they're going to counter red. I mean, that's what you should do, right? You just lost all his Reapers. You got to counter right now because Orange is going to be trying to recover from that huge economic hit that he just took. Meanwhile, Teal is massing up Roaches, Zerglings. Let's see it. We have 2 battle cruisers already coming out from pink. A battle cruiser rush. Where are the starports? Hidden down here. We see 2 battle cruisers on the way out for pink to go with his little ball of Marines chilling at this watchtower. Everybody's just kind of still building up, and now is when you're going to see this fast expansion start to really pay off. Teal not very saturated just yet. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say real quick while we have a lull is that I think a lot of casters shy away from these team games because there's so much going. There's not even any action on the map, and still I can't keep up with what everybody's trying to build here. I mean, we have crazy stuff here. We have Raven's tech, the secret missile coming out for blue. So we got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Those battle cruisers, where are they? They are both now out. I wonder if he's going to push or try and keep that hidden and build up a few more. We have Ghosts coming out from purple. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. No actual battles happening yet. I mean, there was that very nice Reaper harass, but they didn't make him pay. I mean, you saw this base. I came over here after that harass, and there was almost nothing. Yeah, Teal would have been here to defend, but if those Marines and that massive wings had come out, I mean, I don't know. They could have at least pressured, maybe done some damage. Who knows? Maybe they couldn't have because of the tech going on in the fast expand over here. They might have gotten hurt. So that is possibly good team play. I mean, if you know that you're not going to have enough to counter that because half of your team is just teching and expanding, then yeah. But we do have Vikings out, siege tanks already out defending up here. Another expansion going down from green, so he is getting very greedy, and more battle cruisers. Yeah, Centrifugal Hosts, we have some Banelings for yellow. That seems like a good play, especially with all this bio and these Zerglings down here. Hydralisks, I'm not sure if Banelings would be that good against Hydras. I guess maybe if you can get some splash, and if you're off the creep and you have the Centrifugal Hooks, you could catch up to those Hydras and get some splash damage there. So Orange getting the island base. This is always this is one of the either cheapest or coolest things about Terran, depending on what race you play, but being able to just lift off a base and go over to somewhere that can't even be reached by ground units. I mean, if there's no opponent air harass or like a blink stalkers or dropships going on, I mean, see, if the red team, if they knew about this, he could just send over a few Marines, drop right on top of that tank that down there, and easily take that out, but he doesn't see it. So meanwhile, everybody's pretty much just expanding and macroing up down here. Let's see if we have any more crazy stuff. How many battle cruisers do we have so far? 4, and that's still hidden completely. You can see this ring of supply depots so that Pink knows exactly. You can see all around his base. No, we have an early warning system. Now here we have an interesting supply depot wall off. Now that could be, I mean, that's quite a few to queue up at once, because that'll hurt your you know, mineral efficiency. But at the same time, you can get some extra protection down here for these two expansions, sharing that defense there. So still no action going on. I mean, we just have more and more macro, a lot of Hydralisks coming out for Teal. That fast expansion really starting to pay off in his macro. Meanwhile, a couple of Ravens up here, Marines, dropships. We have a lot of sensor towers going around, as you guys can see. And so both teams kind of just macroing up, playing defensive. They got their sensor towers so they can see any sort of assault that begins to push out. And it looks like some Banelings are getting bored back in Yellow's base, and looks like they're going to try and bust through this door. Yes, here we go. Right through the barracks. And you know, I don't think that was, that was not that successful. I mean, you had no units to follow it up. I mean, if there was a bunch of Zerglings down here to go in and follow that. And one other thing is he went for the barracks, spent almost all his Banelings on the barracks, and didn't even touch the bio ball in the back. So that's actually a big loss down there for Yellow. He should have waited for some support and tried to, and let his allies run in behind to do some damage. But with all these roaches and Hydralisks, I'm not sure how successful that really would have been. But the battle cruisers are out. There are 7 of them to go with these this pack of Marines down here for Pink, just macroing up hardcore. He's got his expansion not very saturated yet, but he does have quite a few battle cruisers though. Hydralisk, pretty good. A massive Ghost, Marines, Hydralisk. Those will be good against these battle cruisers if they can get them separated. So, one thing about these team games is, in my experience, you've got to keep your armies together. Especially in a game like this where there hasn't been much action going on, so you know that everybody's got a big army. So the teams that group up their armies the best will be most successful. Because those extra number advantages are just exponential. The more units you have than your opponent's army, the greater that difference is. It is just exponentially better in these engagements. So we have Blue is going to be pulling back. He sees all these battle cruisers. And these two armies are going to group up. Meanwhile, Purple just sitting down here, possibly waiting for an engagement over here to move in this way. That's another strategy. I mean, when you have this many players, it's hard to keep 4 different players' armies together. And maybe not even as advantageous, because somebody else can come in behind and just wipe out your base while you're moving out, and you'll end up with a base trade situation. So sometimes it is good to sort of, what you can do that I found, though I'm still a noob, I'm not that good, but you can take a piece of your army here and sort of try and harass, like, there is a nice missile turret. Oh, here we go, big Banelings coming in, the Ravens. Oh, those Banelings were a little bit ahead of schedule there, and these battle cruisers are in trouble with all those Hydras, so they are doing some decent damage. Possibly could be using this ground right here for advantage. Marines coming in to support. And this is basically a 1-on-2 fight with Pink. So he has so many battle cruisers, and the nice use of this trope here is forcing all these units to come down. Well done by Pink with the battle cruisers. Look at all the carnage. Oh man, these are already, they have 1 weapon upgrade. Oh, and just now coming in is Red with the Marines and more Hydras. It looks like Pink's in trouble. Gotta fall back. Too much anti-air down here. He did do a lot of damage, but the best thing he could do right now is try and use his terrain to get his battle. Oh, you do have reinforcements.